Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Welcome inside the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. I'm Rich Walsh, and there's a bunch of me right here. Give us a call tonight. 412-575-2600 is the number. And we are all taking your phone calls tonight, along with Andrew Fillipponi. And one of the big topics of conversation here tonight will be the quarterback position for the Steelers. Their first game coming up in a couple days here against the Packers. It's the first preseason game. Preseason kicks off in just a couple days. Another thing that we could talk about here, Paul Skenes. Another Paul Skenes start, another Paul Skenes loss. And maybe the biggest concern that I have with this game is Paul Skenes was pulled after 65 pitches, Pony, in this game. His velocity is down. 95, I think, was his average velocity here today. Something is definitely wrong, Pony. I don't know what it is. I can't put my... Pony, go ahead. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you see me? Can you hear me?
I can see you. I can't see you. I can hear you. I can hear you.
I can see you. I
there
see
you
like
are.
15 Richies.
There's like 15
okay.
of me. Yeah.
There are.
The more Richies, the better, right?
Yeah. You go back to my college days, and I would think I was maybe tripping on something watching that. But anyways, look, to your point on Skenes, they clearly now the Pirates are prioritizing his health and getting him through the season as opposed to winning games. They made the 65-pitch limit or somewhere in that neighborhood for the start. They pulled him out early. They didn't ask him to go deeper than that because I think they recognize where they are in the standings. 6 games out going into tonight's action. Playoff chances slim to none. And the last thing they want to see is something really bad happening to Paul Skenes when you're playing out the string, which is sad to say about the Pirates, but I think it's true with 40 games to go. So that's what that meant to me. Like, they have pivoted, Richie. They have transitioned from being a team that was doing really everything it could to win games to now wanting to protect themselves and preserve themselves for next year.
And you push Ashcraft back a day. He's going to pitch down on Thursday. Why don't you just shut down Skenes if you're worried about his pitch count? Just shut him down. You're 6.5 games back. You're out of it. It would take a miracle. You'd have to win 12 straight to even be back in the conversation.
I'll answer that question for you because I don't think Paul Skenes wants that. I think Paul Skenes, part of getting the big payday in his mind is being able to show the next team that signs him that he's never missed a start, that he's super durable, that he always takes the ball. And even though his numbers aren't great this year, that's a defining trait or characteristic in him. Hey, I'm this old school pitcher that doesn't need to be babied or coddled or miss time. I think that's important to him. So they're going to try to have that have your cake and eat it too thing for him where he still pitches every 5th day, but now they're going to reel back or hone in the amount he pitches because they don't want him to get, or they don't want him to be at risk for injury.
Pony, I get it, but the flip side of that, how's he going to get a huge payday if he's throwing 95? He's an average pitcher now.
Well, look, the numbers back that up. Okay, he was better tonight, but he still wasn't great. He didn't get any swing and miss. All the outs were contact. I mean, the big strikeout totals are few and far between. The radar gun lighting up, as you've mentioned here, nowhere close to what he used to be. So it really raises a lot of questions about him. And I am concerned about what kind of pitcher he's going to be moving forward. Now, who knows when we see baseball again after this year and what baseball is going to look like after this season. And we already know Paul Skenes is on the record as being a big union guy, someone who swears he never wants a salary cap, and a salary cap would be the worst thing to happen to baseball. So really from that moment on, Richie, he lost a lot of fans here, and then coincidentally, his pitching started to fall apart shortly thereafter as well.
All right, we'll take your phone calls on Paul Skenes. Also talking about the Steelers quarterback situation. Speaking of quarterback situations, that's our Penn West University question. I just scanned that QR code in the right-hand corner of your screen. Which quarterback would you rather have this season, Aaron Rodgers or Kyler Murray? It seems like it's about 50-50 right now, but now Kyler Murray has jumped up there. I don't know. I'd rather have Kyler Murray. just for the shot of maybe you can find something with him that he could be the QB of the future? Because we know Aaron Rodgers, this is it for him.
I agree. And Aaron Rodgers is not making a ton of money, but he's making more than he made last year. And Kyler Murray's making next to nothing. It's the same situation the Steelers had with Russell Wilson, where Minnesota's got him on a very cheap, affordable contract, and Arizona's picking up most of the money, if not almost all the money. And at least with Murray, there's upside. Now, he's definitely underachieved. He's been a disappointing player. I think it's fair to wonder how much he actually cares about football. But there's no denying the fact that he is an amazing athlete. I mean, he could have been a Major League Baseball player. He was a top 10 pick. He was the #1 pick in the draft. He won the Heisman Trophy. This is an A-plus athlete, and you wonder, in a better system, with more structure, with better coaching, if he can be the next one of these quarterbacks to rehabilitate his career with a new team.
And he's in a good system, a good situation right now. All right, we got to take a break. Back with your phone calls. 412-575-2600 is the number. Back in a couple minutes. All right, welcome back to the Ireland Contracted Nightly Sports Call. This is our Xfinity Tweet of the Night. You can see Paul Skenes threw just 65 pitches, 5 innings tonight against the Marlins, allowing 1 earned, striking out 4, walking 1, and allowing 5 hits. He never reached 97 on any pitch. Very concerning. I know we were talking about that before the break. I feel like some kind of fatigue is there. Maybe I'm wrong. I know there were some reports that he was potentially overweight. I don't know about that. But there's definitely something wrong. And I always go back to that Codified Baseball tweet a couple weeks ago where they showed his velocity over the course of this year and how many pitches were over 98 miles an hour. And you had a bunch of zeros. You get the last year, and there were 20, whatever it was. There's definitely something wrong. And, I know what you said before the break about he wants to show his longevity and everything, but he's also got to go out there and prove that he can be Paul Skenes from last year if he wants that big-time payday like some of these other pitchers are getting. Because I don't know if I'm paying a guy that throws 95, 96 fastball, $30 million a year. I don't care what he did.
Yeah, and he sounds after every start like he's shocked that he hasn't gotten better results and that he is the same guy, if not at a better version of last year, and he's just been the victim of bad luck or bad defense or any number of things that have conspired against him this year. I guess on one hand you could argue maybe that's a good thing, that it shows that he is an alpha athlete that has a ton of confidence in himself and he's never going to get down on himself. But at the same time, as a fan, and that's what I am and that's what most everybody watching is, it is discouraging to hear someone repeatedly tell you that everything's great, everything's fantastic, everything's awesome, but they've just gotten unlucky and there's been a hiccup or a bump in the road here and there, and really there's no difference between the way he pitched last year and the way he pitched this year, even though our eyes for months watching games have told us something completely different.
Yeah, bad defense, no run support aside. I mean, the numbers are very telling. A 95-mile-an-hour fastball is a lot different than a 101. I don't care who you are. Guys are hitting 95 at that level. A lot of guys can't hit 101. So that's what's telling to me, numbers in black and white. Let's go out to Brian. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Richie.
Hey
guys, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Hey, good, real quick. Hey, listen, I know we're talking about Paul. I know that, I'm sure we still think he's the Pirates pitcher of the future and all that stuff, but I think a lot of emphasis needs to be off of him. It's the fact that, again, you just touched on it, Richie. Run support's not there. The bullpen's horrendous. And then I even heard a comment today on your show, Pony, where one of your teammates on the show said, Paul Skenes start night, and it wasn't really a good feeling. And how often does that happen? So I just think it's telling of not just Skenes but the team in general that it's definitely a sunken ship. There's no really need to keep going on about it.
Well, sunken ship this year for sure. Hey, on the bright side, Pony, maybe the Pirates can afford him now.
Well, he's going to be cheaper in arbitration than we thought. That's if the arbitration system we've known for years continues once this CBA gets ironed out. I want to quibble and just deconstruct a couple of the things that he said there. I am not really at all convinced that he is the Pirates pitcher of the future. He might only have one more year in a Pirates uniform, to be honest with you. I'm not really sure that he has much more than that. The current system says he's under team control for 6 years. This is year 3. I think he'll be here for a 4th year. I think the 5th year is 50-50, and I think the 6th year, 100% he's gone.
There might not be a 4th year too, right?
Potentially, right. It depends on negotiations.
And that doesn't push his contract down the line, though. That's just the Pirates just are losers.
We don't know how they're going to do it. We don't know how they're going to do it. And if these players win and there's no baseball next year, but it counts, then you're right. He goes into year 5. And so I don't know, like, you make 30 starts a year if you're healthy. Does he have another 50 starts left as a Pirate? Maybe. But I don't think he's got many more left than that, Richie. So that doesn't make him the Pirates pitcher of the future, in my opinion. The Pirates pitcher of the future is Seth Hernandez. And he's at AA or single A. Well, single A right now. He's hurt. But that's the guy I think that is really their future ace.
All right, back out to the phone lines. We're going to go out to Mike in Blairsville. How you doing, Mike?
How you doing, Rich? Thanks for taking my call.
Yep, thanks for calling.
I was just wondering if you guys think that Paul Skenes might ask to be traded here in the off season.
I don't know. Do you think that's a Paul Skenes kind of move? I don't think he'll ask to be traded. But I would. The Pirates should do their due diligence, right, and listen to offers if he wants to be traded, I guess. But now you're selling low. That's
correct.
Bad. You're selling low.
There you go, Richie. You took your economics classes at Pitt, man. I agree 100% with that. That Pitt, what did Larry Fitzgerald say? That Pitt diploma goes a lot further than that West Virginia degree, doesn't it?
It does now. I mean, they're like Ivy League. Did you see the latest rankings? I don't even know if I'd get into Pitt anymore.
Well, based on how I did in actual school and not my SATs, I know for a fact I would not. But look, it depends how he feels about the way things went this year. Could he ask for a trade? Yes. Does that mean the Pirates have to trade him? No. And why would you want to trade him when his value is at its lowest? You would not. So I think he knows better than that. But again, he spoke out about the CBA, and he might want to get to a destination that allows for him to see how he feels about a place that might potentially lock him up long term, because we know the Pirates won't do that.
Well, look, I don't think he can blame anyone but himself and all these pitchers, because they ran Oscar Marin out of town. Got a new pitching coach. So, I mean, I feel like it's just been a disaster, whether we're talking about the bullpen most of the year, the starters didn't help. Now there's no hitting. It's one of these things. I didn't think we'd be in this position right now. I thought they'd still be battling for a wild card spot, but that's not the case. Let's go out to Jim. What's up, Jim? How you doing?
Hey, gentlemen. Richie, that's a great tie.
Thank you.
You can tell with Paul Skenes, he absolutely hates it here. This team ruins even modestly talented players. This is baseball hell. Not purgatory, it's hell. And I would hope that when they do the labor agreement, the owners say, okay, in lieu of a salary cap, we'll contract 2 teams, and the Pirates are one of them.
Well, that's not going to happen. I forget the point that I was going to make here after listening to him, but I think the Pirates need.
Why would the players ever agree to that?
Yeah.
That's like 26 times 2. That's 52 jobs that would just go away if 2 teams didn't exist.
The Pirates
What the heck is that?
The baseball to figure out a CBA, I think, for the survival of this organization. What I wanted to get to kind of come off that question is, does Ben Cherington survive this year? Do you give him another year?
Well, I think one of my friends made this observation tonight, and I think it's a good one. Ben Cherington, if he is managing for his job, okay, so if he's general managing for his future, would he want Paul Skenes out of the game after 65 pitches? You know, that strategy seems to be a long-term, down-the-road strategy. And, you know, that's not in – if he's trying to win every game, I can't imagine that he would be cool with them pulling the plug and having such a short leash on Paul Skenes in these starts, Richie. So maybe he thinks he is safe after this year.
Do you think that they would attack the trade deadline differently if it was this week instead of what it was a couple weeks ago?
Yes. Don't you?
Yeah, I do. It's a shame.
I think Brandon Lau would have been traded.
I wanted him to be traded. I mean, you would have got something for him.
You did. You did say that. You know what I just observed, Richie? He made a good comment about your tie, which I do think it's a nice one.
Thanks.
I don't think I ever knew until tonight that you were – is that a coffee cup? I thought you were always a pop guy. You're drinking coffee now?
Well, you see me with the orange pop, you know, the one time. No, I drink coffee at night. It soothes me. It soothes me a little bit. I like it.
Soothing? Coffee's supposed to have you bouncing off the wall.
I need to bounce off the walls late at night. But, yeah, I like coffee. I don't know. It doesn't – I don't know. I'm a big coffee guy. I'm also a big Red Bull guy, but I'm not going to drink Red Bull this late. My wife only lets me have one Red Bull a day, so that's where we are right now. Hey, what do you think's going to happen? I want to get to the quarterback situation, so we'll take a break right now, and then we'll come back and talk about the Steelers quarterback coming up next. Stay right there. All right, the Steelers kick off the preseason Thursday right here on KDKA against the Green Bay Packers. Pony, you think Aaron Rodgers plays? It sounds like he's not going to, but we won't know for sure until they step out there. I wouldn't play him in the first game.
No, it's pointless, especially after Rodgers made his feelings known on the topic. He doesn't think it's worth it. He doesn't think he gets anything out of it.
Yeah.
Why force him to do it? If it was a new offense, I think you could justify it or explain it better, but he played for Mike McCarthy forever in Green Bay, so I don't think it makes a whole heck of a lot, and you want to find out what you have in the other two young quarterbacks, Drew Aller and Will Howard, in these 3 games.
Who do you give more time to? I mean, personally, I'm going to start, if it's up to me, I would start Mason Rudolph, then go to Aller, and then give the bulk of the game to Will Howard.
I agree. I think Will Howard needs that playing time for a number of different reasons, but one of them being, do you keep 4 quarterbacks? And also, additionally, and more importantly, I guess, than that even, is does he look like someone that can eventually be your starting quarterback after this season? And so the more reps and the more opportunities, the more data points you have to make a well-informed decision. So I want Will Howard to play more than any quarterback on the Steelers roster this preseason.
Say Will Howard looks to be the second best quarterback in the preseason behind Mason Rudolph. Do you keep him?
Wait, so Rudolph still looks better than him?
Rudolph still looks better than him. I understand it's probably a competition between Rudolph and Howard, but Rudolph still looks better than Howard, but Howard is clearly better than Aller.
I'd probably keep 4 quarterbacks in that situation, but if he looked worse than Mason Rudolph, I would not be offended or angry if the Steelers cut Will Howard or traded him or put him on the practice squad before the season started.
I'm sure you could slide him on the practice squad. Someone would have to put him on their active roster to pick him up for 4 games, so I don't know if that would happen. All right, thanks a lot, Pony. We'll hear on the radio. See you next week, and hopefully we see you guys on KDKA coming up in just a couple minutes.